One might think, well, do we need a market structure bill when we have regulators?
Hey there, future millionaires. Welcome back to the channel. It's so good to see you again. Huckle, I really hope you're having an amazing day, no matter where you're watching from around this incredible world of ours. Today we're diving into XRP, but before we jump in, I've got to ask you something. Aren't you absolutely exhausted from all this tariff talk? Because honestly, I'm completely over it. We all know exactly what happens every single time tariffs get mentioned, right? Bitcoin takes a nosedive and drags the entire crypto market down with it. It's like clockwork. So here's where we stand right now. I'm still watching XRP trying to find its bottom. As I'm recording this, you can see on the one-day chart that we're sitting at $2.68. You know what? The market was looking absolutely phenomenal just recently. Bitcoin was smashing through one all-time high after another, and I genuinely thought we were witnessing the final rocket ship moment, that Bitcoin was just going to keep climbing and climbing. But nope. Once again, those tariff headlines came swooping in, knocked Bitcoin off its throne, and brought everything else tumbling down with it. And here's the thing. It's not just crypto taking the hit. The stock market's feeling the pain too. We'll dig deeper into all of that as we go through this video together.
And boom, just like that, we're watching the markets absolutely crash right after President Trump drops this bombshell announcement about China. So here's what happened. Trump just announced that he's working on calculating increased tariffs on Chinese products. But wait, it gets even more intense. He's also saying there's no point in meeting with Chinese President Xi anymore. Can you believe the timing? I mean, we literally just saw this play out in real time, folks. The moment this news hit, the markets went into complete freefall mode. It's like watching dominoes fall. First the announcement drops, then boom, right across the board. All right, I'm going to throw that post up on your screen right now, so if you want to pause and read through the whole thing, go ahead and take your time. But here's what we all know by now. The second anyone even whispers the word tariffs, the market goes absolutely crazy. Ha! It's like a knee-jerk reaction every single time. And get this, just last week, we had Eric Trump telling everyone, hey, now's the perfect time to buy the dip. Talk about timing, right? One week we're hearing, buy the dip, and now we're watching everything crash again because of tariff talk. It's like we're stuck in this endless cycle, and honestly, it's pretty wild to watch it all unfold. So remember when Eric Trump came out and said, hey everyone, buy the dip on crypto? Well, I bet nobody expected the charts to keep diving even lower after that, right? Look, let's be real here. This is pretty obvious market manipulation, and honestly, everyone knows it. I mean, if you're scrolling through crypto Twitter right now, literally everyone in the space is saying the exact same thing. We're all watching this play out and thinking, come on, this is just too convenient. The timing, the announcements, the immediate market reactions, it's all connected, and we can all see it happening right in front of our eyes. It's like they're not even trying to hide it anymore, you know what I mean? Look what's happening right now. Longs are getting liquidated, shorts are getting liquidated. It's all just manipulation, most likely until we see those rate cuts come through. Here's my advice. Don't fall for these shenanigans. Just sit back, watch from the sidelines, and treat the market like your personal tool. Use it when you want to buy more, not when it's trying to force your hand. This is what I call do very little season. On days like today, you've got two choices. Either do absolutely nothing or buy the dip. That's it. But let me tell you something important. There's going to come a time when you look back at this exact moment and think, man, I really wish I had bought that dip. I've been there myself. Back in 2021, I was kicking myself saying I should have bought way more in 2020 when the Ripple versus SEC case first started. Right before XRP shot up to $1.92. And honestly, that whole run was frustrating because the SEC case was so fresh and XRP had been kicked off most of the major exchanges. But here's the thing. You always look back at moments like this and realize they were incredible buying opportunities. The problem is, most people don't seize the moment when it's right in front of them. Well, guess what? This is your chance right now. Don't let this one slip by. All right, I really hope you've figured out the game by now. We've got Bitcoin and all the alts getting absolutely rattled by some fake tariff news that, honestly, it'll be completely forgotten about within 24 hours. I guarantee it. Whew. And here's what's going to happen next. As soon as we find our bottom, just watch how lightning fast this market rebounds. Then all of a sudden, everyone's going to be excited about crypto again.
It's like clockwork. But I get it. The frustration is real on days like today. We're all feeling beaten down right now. I mean, this has honestly been the craziest cycle I've ever seen. Every single time things start looking amazing, something comes out of nowhere and brings everything crashing back down. It's like the cycle keeps getting delayed over and over again. It feels like a never-ending roller coaster, doesn't it? I know it looks that way, but here's the reality. The market is just doing what the market does. Look, let me show you something. You see Trump's tariff announcement? There's the market crash. Here's another one, same pattern. And then there's this latest one we just witnessed. But check this out. What happens right after every single crash? Boom! The market breaks out again. You can see it happen 3 different times right here on the chart. The exact same pattern over and over again. And that's exactly why you never, ever sell on red days. Because trust me, you will absolutely regret it the moment this market bounces back. Don't be that person. Top.
Okay, get this. We just witnessed $1.2 trillion get completely wiped out from the stock market today. That's trillion with a T, people. And you know what? We better say a little prayer for crypto right now because this wasn't just a crypto bloodbath. Oh no, this was way bigger than that. The stock market got absolutely hammered too. I'm talking red across the board. Everywhere you looked, it was just a sea of red. Well, except for a handful of lucky stocks that somehow managed to stay green. But seriously, almost everything else? Total carnage. It's wild to see this kind of destruction happening across all markets at the same time. This really shows you just how connected everything is these days. XRP price prediction analyzing Ripple's current price action. You want to know this. So here's the thing. Even though everyone's talking about this crash, the analysts are still saying we're completely on track for that rally up to $4 or even more. And you know what? Maybe this crash is exactly what we needed. Maybe this is the moment we finally see XRP start its massive breakout. Think about it. Sometimes the biggest moves come right after the biggest dips. But here's what's really exciting. We've still got some major catalysts coming for XRP. We're all waiting for the government to reopen, and when that happens, I think they're going to fast-track those ETFs like nobody's business. I honestly believe these XRP spot ETFs are going to go live way sooner than most people think, and you need to be ready for that moment. And here's what I'm pretty sure is happening right now behind the scenes. The whales are absolutely loading up on this dip. I bet you anything that institutions are also quietly buying right now because they want to get the cheapest prices possible before something huge happens. Because let's be real, the next big thing on XRP's calendar? Those ETFs. And when they hit, everything changes. All right, so here's the deal with this October breakout. It's actually looking pretty promising right now. As long as we don't close below that lower blue ascending trend line at $2.65, we're sitting in a really good position. Now, I've talked about this multiple times before, but what we're seeing here is the market revisiting those lows to confirm we've got strong support. And honestly, a little wick down doesn't worry me at all. Actually, it would be even more bullish if we see a pin bar candle or one of those beautiful bullish hammer candles. Why? Because these patterns are like a big neon sign saying, hey, there's serious buying interest down here. And that usually signals we're about to see a potential move upward. So here's what we need to watch. How does the market actually close today? If we get a solid green candle close, then boom, everything's still perfectly on track to head higher. But here's the flip side. If we fall below $2 or worse, if we actually close below that $2.65 level, then yeah, we could definitely see things go even lower from here. It's all about that close, people. That's what's going to tell us the real story. And you see it on Greg's chart right here, but let's see how it goes throughout the rest of today. Okay, so we've got some serious drama happening right now with Brian Armstrong stepping up to the plate. He's basically saying we absolutely will not accept this. And honestly, I don't blame him. This proposal is just bad, plain and simple. Here's what's got everyone fired up. This thing would literally set innovation back and completely prevent the US from becoming the crypto capital of the world. Can you believe that? But Brian's not backing down. He's saying, look, legislating is a process, and we're committed to working with Congress to get this right. We're going to keep fighting for your rights and to preserve economic freedom. And it gets even more intense. The Blockchain Association just dropped this statement, and they are not happy.
They're calling this proposal from Senate Democrats absolutely disappointing, saying it would effectively ban decentralized finance, wallet development, and tons of other applications right here in the United States. They're basically saying this outcome is neither workable nor consistent with American innovation. And get this, the language is so bad that it's literally impossible to comply with. It would just drive all the responsible development overseas. So what's really happening here? This is just a continuation of that crypto crackdown we've been seeing. They're still trying to drive innovation out of the United States at the exact time when all we want is a level playing field. But here's the thing. Once we finally get that regulatory clarity we've been waiting for, these utility-driven cryptocurrencies are going to absolutely explode and show their true price potential.
But the Clarity Act will happen because it's national security. Here's another reason it must pass now. Take a listen to this, and what she says is they could kick it back to the regulators.
One might think, well, do we need a market structure bill when we have regulators that are now using their powers for good, right? That's a joke, but that are using their powers to say, hey, we actually might not need a market structure bill. Maybe we have the authorization, which I think has been Paul Atkin's position. But what Jason brought out into high relief is that we don't have the law. And what we do have in the courts, Ripple having been a split decision, right, where certain of the transactions involved transactions in securities, and other cases like Library and others. So it's not all, if something goes to a court, and of course we still have plaintiffs' lawyers bringing suits and alleging, things that we think the SEC has moved on from. And so I do think that it is important that we that we don't ever, that's a little too strong, but that we don't accept just yet the possibility that we don't get a market structure bill. Fair. And just put it all on the regulators because we've still got plaintiffs.
So think about this for a second. They could literally just kick everything back to the regulators, and all those cases that have already been fought and settled through the court system. You can't just let that madness continue going forward. I mean, come on. When someone wants to start a crypto startup, they shouldn't have to spend sleepless nights worrying about the SEC coming after them at every single opportunity, right? That's just crazy. And that's exactly why the Clarity Act is so incredibly important. It would change everything. But here's what's driving me absolutely nuts. It seems like every single time we get close to something good, every time it starts gaining real momentum and we think, this is it, this is finally happening, -BAM, exclamation mark. Something comes out of nowhere and delays it all over again. It's like we're stuck in this endless loop of almost there, and then, nope, not yet. It's honestly exhausting to watch, but we've got to keep pushing for it because this clarity is everything for the future of crypto in America. Okay, this is huge news. Major global banks are teaming up to launch a joint stablecoin initiative, and we're talking about some serious heavy hitters here. Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank, BNP Paribas, Santander, Barclays, TD Bank, MUFG, UBS, and Citi. Now here's what's really interesting. Almost every single one of those names, they're known Ripple partners. Even though they want to create their own stablecoins, guess what? You're still going to need a bridge for those stablecoins to work globally. And I love this because everybody looks at this news and immediately panics like, oh no, this means there's no need for XRP anymore. But actually, it's the complete opposite. This means there's even more need for XRP and LUSD because most of these banks are going to want to actually use their stablecoins across borders. Let me paint you a picture here. Say Bank of America wants to send money to a bank in China. Well, that Chinese bank doesn't want Bank of America's coin, right? So what happens? Bank of America sends it through XRP. It goes in as Bank of America coin, converts to XRP, and comes out as whatever bank coin they need anywhere else in the world. I honestly watch people complain and worry about this news, and I just have to laugh. Because here's the reality. Every single stablecoin that gets created, every single central bank digital currency that launches is still going to need a bridge currency at the end of the day. If you want to actually transact with that stablecoin or CBDC globally, you absolutely need the bridge.
And that's exactly what XRP is.
But like I mentioned at the start of this video, I'm still keeping my eyes glued to the charts, waiting to see exactly where XRP is going to find its bottom. Now, I'm actually recording this video a little earlier than usual today because, believe it or not, I had a bit of a slow day for once. Can you believe that? It's rare, but hey, I'll take it. So I'm sitting here watching these charts like a hawk, and honestly, I'm really hoping that when this candle closes, we're going to see something good. And you know what? I think we're already starting to see the reversal beginning right now. The early signs are looking pretty promising, so let's see if this momentum can keep building as we head into the close. Because if this momentum keeps up, we could very well end up closing above $2.70, maybe even above $2.75. And you know what's amazing about crypto? We see how lightning fast this market bounces back compared to traditional markets. Plus, we get to see what happens over the weekend too. Remember, crypto never sleeps, so we're in for a wild weekend of chart watching. Think about this. If I was stuck in the stock market and saw what happened today, I'd be sitting on pins and needles all weekend long, just praying for some kind of bullish news before Monday morning's open. That sounds absolutely miserable, right? But you're a crypto investor. We've been through this rodeo before. You know the drill. Either do nothing or buy the dip. This is just another golden opportunity to add more XRP to your bag. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I believe 100% that this market is being absolutely manipulated. It's so blatant now that it's almost impossible to ignore. When this whole tariff thing first started happening, everyone was like, okay, we need to get things done in the US. I'm all for tariffs. This is going to be amazing. I saw it everywhere on X. People saying tariffs were going to be the greatest thing ever. But now, we've reached the point where everyone's just exhausted. People are like, can we please just move past the tariff talk already? Let the market breathe for 5 minutes. But here's what I know for sure. We are going to make serious money off of XRP. You just have to be here when it happens. And until that moment comes,